G'day, punters. Welcome to week 3 of All In for nearly spring of 2023. And welcome in Lewis Willoughby from Sky Thoroughbred Central, Sky Racing. How are you, Louis?
Yeah, good, Gannon. Afternoon to... Yeah, I was about to say morning because that's when we were supposed to record, but I think Dino got held up buying Jats crackers at the shop, so we're now recording later on an afternoon. No, mate, I'm good. What was it? Maybe an off week in the racing, in terms of big hitters last Saturday, but gee, it's back again this Saturday. It's getting very, very strong all across the board. Even in those group 2s and 3s, there's some very, very smart horses, Group 1 potential horses going around, which makes it very exciting.
And we are into spring on Saturday, so that'll be enormous. Dean Watling, ready to peak on your run, no doubt. Obviously, the shopping centre got the better of you this morning, but welcome.
Yeah, good afternoon, boys. Apologies. Got caught at the checkout for too long. I was trying to get one up and get the brownie points with the hugs and kisses, but unfortunately left you boys hung and dry. But we're back. Looking at the futures, I looked a little bit, felt a little bit overwhelmed. There's so many futures events. I hope we don't have too many dual noms that rule these races come Saturday, but we're here to dissect a couple of them.
I suggest we will. And just before we go any further, mate, can you give us a bit of an explanation and the viewers a bit of an explanation to the one AirPod left? Is that like a near side blinker sort of set up for you today? What's going on there, mate?
Yeah, I've just been leaning too far left when I'm doing my form, so I've tried to even it out. No, I got a little bit of an ear infection this week from one of my AirPods, so I'm on compo, giving myself a bit of compo, a couple of days off, but no, we'll be back next week with 2 AirPods, don't you worry.
I've just never heard of it. But anyway, there you go, punters. If you've ever had an experience like Dino and the AirPods got the better of you, send us a message because, well, quite frankly, it's just horrendous content. Righto, Louis, right of the week. It was a pretty big week. I'm gonna jump on board because I've got one for you just before you go.
No, because you know what? I forgot that was part of the show, and I've gone, fair income. I've got no right of the week here, so Gannon's coming close.
I'll make it easy. I'll go Chad Schofield. You can tell me the horse.
Oh, gee, you put me on, what is this? Fast trivia? I got no idea. I can hardly remember Saturday.
Libertad, Louis. Libertad.
Barry 10, 1100 metres, Rose Hill, had the kahunas to go forward, sit, 1-1, and was just enormous. So huge ride.
I was at the Watson's Bay by that point.
Oh, please. You were watching STC all afternoon. I have no doubt about it. Dino, horse to follow. I've got a couple for you. And Louis, if you've got any to follow as well, but you kick off with us, Dino. Horses to follow.
Yeah, it's a bit of a tricky week. I thought both the features were probably blanket finishes. There wasn't one standout horse, but I'm keen to follow the market from the San Domenico. I know Corniche put out 1 out of 5 lane, but was disappointing. But was 8s into 390 or 370 and convinced the abstract the same. 5th fastest last 600 at 1 out of 5 lane. They'll be prepped up and ready to go for the run of the rose. So keen to be forgiving of them and follow them, Gunno. What do you got?
Super. Yeah, I thought Brosnan just out of a lowly sort of rated BM 78 down the bottom, but the run was enormous, and I think a 1200, 1300 Randwick sort of setup is just absolutely ideal for this horse. And I suggested to go on to bigger and better things this preparation. Lou, anything for us?
Yeah, I thought Extravagant Star was really good, winning the benchmark 78 and did it in good time. The up and coming in the San Domenico, have they fallen away probably from what they were in previous years? Yes, but they were both won and run in really good times. I thought NCAP was one to follow. Its run was big, although it was a bit further into the preparation than a few others, but it's still a good run. And Butch Cassidy, I thought, was really unlucky in the San Domenico, so I could follow it. And I just want to give you one from Moonee Valley, a horse by the name of Malawalk. Mawalock. Yeah, Mawalock. Lindsay Smith. Can't say it to save my life, but didn't beat much, but ran the hands off the clock, as they say, and I think it could be in for some better benchmark victories and then creeping towards black type level for sure.
Super stuff, and the best maiden in the country at the moment is Duke Huss, must be. So make sure you throw that galloper in your black book as well. All right, let's move on straight down to Caulfield, the Memsie Stakes. There's not much rain about this week, anywhere from 3 to 10 mils. I'd say probably on the side of 3, which will probably get you racing on a good surface. It's going to be an enormous day down there. Group 1 racing. $3, I Wish I Win, Mr. Brightside, $3.50, Alligator Blood, $5, and Avisto, $15, Topalica, $15, Ozpenko, $15, Princess Grace, $15, courtesy of Louis, you want to kick us off with the Memsie Stakes, your opinions on that race?
Yeah, sure. The market. Imagine what you could be buying instead. For free and confidential support, call 1800 858 858 or visit gamblinghelponline.org.au. This Memsie Stakes was taken out by Snapdancer last year, who was first up. Other winners, Behemoth won it back-to-back, Scales of Justice, Humidor, Vega Magic and Blackheart. But the most prominent kind of form line is first up or second up. Only Scales of Justice was third up. Interestingly enough, with Behemoth and Scales of Justice, they actually both come through what is now known as the Behemoth Stakes at Group 3 level in Adelaide. So that was an interesting little form reference, I thought. Nothing really this year going that route, but just one for the data guys nonetheless. I am going at the $5 odds Alligator Blood. I think there's clearly been money for I Wish I Win today, because when I checked the market this morning, it was second favourite, I think, and Mr. Brightside was favourite, and it's now into $3 favourite, you said. But I think at the prices there, it has to be Alligator Blood for me, and for these reasons. First up off the 2 trials, and has won both of those trials really well. I thought it looks to be going as good as ever. Resumed in this race last year. If you had a bet on it last year in this race, you wouldn't really want to be watching the replay anytime soon again. I went back, had a look. It was a tragedy beaten. It's a Group 1 futurity winner at this 1,400 metres first up previously, so you can know it will do it at this distance, at this level. And yeah, I just, with that, without pricing it up, I thought $5 v $3 for the others. You had to make it a bit closer in my eyes. I Wish I Win's the tricky one, right? First up here and then back to an Everest off a 5-week gap, and they might have an exhibition gallop. I read today, I think Catherine Coleman was like, it's not screwed down, it's really wintry in the coat, blah, blah, blah. But then you look at the market today and there's been a heap of money for it. So they're a tricky stable, aren't they? Like, you just don't know what to do. And of course, the other one, Mr. Brightside, comes here second up and was massive, winning first up in the PB Lawrence. So it's clearly going very well. It's a great race.
Dino, what are your thoughts on the race, mate?
Yeah, Louis summed it up really well. It's an outstanding race. Could be, well, I know we're early-ish in the spring, but it could be one of the races of the spring. There's a couple of key points that I want to make. I can't possibly see how I Wish I Win is favourite for this. If he's going to win 1,400 metres and then go 5 weeks fresh into an Everest and win that, he's better than Winks, better than Caviar if you're going to do that. I think it's a strange prep for him, but $3, you'll get $5, $6 plus, I reckon, on race day. 1,400 metres is right on that bend. I think inside gates have dominated and horses up on speed, just the way the race starts. The one I really want to be against is Anavisto. If you've looked at her jump out, she's a really good horse to get a guide off at the jump outs, and her jump outs have been plain poor. So she's the one I want to get out in the market, and so is I Wish I Win. I think you can have a dual bet on Mr. Brightside and Alligator Blood, but if I had to pick one, I think Alligator Blood, his trials to me, this prep suggests he's come back and he's ready to go first up. He will improve, which a stable often do. Waterhouse and Bott second up, but he's bomb-proof as long as he draws sort of inside 7. I'd be more than happy to go his way. And the smoky, who does have tactical speed and going here, is Princess Grace. She was probably the forgotten horse out of the Winx Stakes, back to the inferior inside. If she draws a low gate, she has tactical speed as well. So Alligator Blood and Princess Grace for mine, Gannon.
Yeah, it's intriguing, isn't it? Like a horse like Zugotcha might get down to the race. It'll be interesting to see how if it gets down there, but it hasn't been confirmed. But I'm pretty sure Princess Grace has been confirmed, and she was enormous first up. So I definitely agree with you there, Dino. I'd like to see if an Ozzapenko runs here. I'm not sure if it's in the market as well. You know, typical sort of these Wallace horses to sit around that $15 mark, and one will go there and the other 3 will go somewhere else. But Alligator Blood clearly on top for me. At a $5 mark, I'm happy I actually played that $5. Just something small there. I think it's, as you said, bomb-proof, rolls forward, ticks all the boxes. If I Wish I Win draws wide, like, good luck catching it. Oh. You're going to give 3. You're going to give it 3 from the 800. Caulfield for it. Like, that's just horrific setup. So I don't know what they do. It's a strange setup. I Wish I Win 1,400, 5 weeks, 1,200. Godspeed. Good luck to them if they get the job done. They'll be far better than most. So there we go. I think we're all aligned there, gents. Alligator Blood. Let's go to the Cochrane Stakes. Benedetta, $3.50. C. Greek. I don't know what's that on there. $6. Louis, you can help me with that. Espiona, $8. Magic Time, $8. Parasail. God bless you. $8. Louis, we'll kick off with you again. What are your thoughts on the Cochrane? And maybe you can pronounce that Say McHugh?
Say Magic. Yeah, say Magic. Yeah, this is a hot race.
One eye on Bathurst race 5 here.
Yeah, true.
Sorry, lads.
Dino and I will carry for the next 5 minutes. Benedetta obviously had spring aspirations and came back really well at Flemington. Probably just clocked off late there. So if you're looking at margins, you wouldn't be taking too much out of it. Had the job well and truly sewn up. Say Magic, Smart, Espiona, Smart, Magic Time, Smart, all resuming. This is a cracking race. Even a horse like Parasol, La Danseuse Rouge, and then you've got a few there. Eden Secret, I'm not sure will be here. Even Psy, if it comes here at $15. This is a great race. I can't wait to see what happens. I don't really have a bet. I'm a big Magic Time fan, so probably at the $8 I could have a nibble at it. But Benedetta's got the fitness over a few of them, and maybe that'll count for a bit. Dino?
Yeah, it's a really good race. I think Magic Time's the one I want to be with no matter what. The query for mine, I'm just trying to do a little bit of background of see what distance you went first up last prep, because you've got the Heath on the same day over 1,100 metres, which she's dual nominated for. You've got Asafora, a couple of others in that race. So I agree with you, Louis. It's probably a little bit too hard to suggest this far out, but either way, whichever venue or race, Magic Time goes to, I'll be leaning that way. Parasol as well. There's a lot to play out, and that's probably the theme of this week. If we're going to chime into futures markets, you want to be guaranteed that some horses going to actually go into these races.
Yeah, spot on, lads. I'm with you. I'm happy to sort of just wait and watch. I'll definitely be betting in the race. I have no doubt about it. I love Parasol as a racehorse. I love Espiona as a horse. In Secret's likely to go to the Concord. So those two horses I really like. Whether or not I'm going to bet now, I won't, because you just want to see if they're there, what barrier they draw, etc. But they're the two horses I'll be very keen to play as we get closer to the day and seeing what the speed maps look like. Righto, let's head to Randwick for what's going to be a massive Saturday of racing at Randwick, kicking off over there with the Chelmsford Stakes. Think it over, $2.80. Wow, come up short there. Off how many days? Williams. First up, now second up. Hinge, $3.50, also quite short. Jouet, $8. Lindemann, $8. Montefilia, $8. Moanga, $8. Madame Pommery, was enormous, $11. And Pericles, $15. Dino, you want to kick us off for the Chelmsford Stakes?
Yeah, wide open. A lot come through the Wing Stakes for this event. Obviously, think it over. Hinge, Jouet, Lindemann, Montefilia, Moanga, the top 6 in betting all come out of that race. It's probably a bit of a blanket finish. I'd suggest Montefilia is probably the best late, up to 1,600 metres now. Suits a lot of these. The one at a big price, looking at the market that I could chime into, is Huya Mal. Bullish on SCN that this horse's trials back this preparation have been superb, showing a lot of speed in its legs. Obviously, it's disappointing in the autumn, disappointing in the Melbourne Cup, but at a price-wise, in a wide-open race, I think Barry's going to dictate probably the first 5. So happy to go the way of Huya Mao. Little spec there for me, Gannon.
$26. Wow, didn't even get a mention on the rundown. It's so far down the list. So that's big for you. I like that, Louis.
And it was $51 this morning because I also wrote it down. A lot of these prices have changed since I've done me prep sheet this morning. I originally had a big question mark on this all-in market because I couldn't really find a bet at the value. I had Hinge probably noted down as the horse who I would tip, let's say, if I was in it going, probably needed more room in the Wink Stakes when resuming. It's a Group 1 Surround Stakes winner, a second up. They can lead, they can sit really handy here now with a bit of fitness under the belt. It was $4.50 and I thought that was a bit, and now it's $3.50. So, I mean, I'm not going to talk you into bet at $3.50. Huya Maldine I like because those stayers who, like those genuine stayers who get up to, the 24, 2500 plus can often fly fresh, really sharp, not necessarily all the time winning, but can run a big race, and then second up they just kind of flatten out a little bit. So horses like Montefilia and Jouet I'd now probably hop off, and Huya Mal is definitely the one that can run a big race fresh. And you mentioned those trials were good. Think it over is too short, way too short. $2.80 in an all-in market. That is crazy. I also would want to push Lindemann out, who I didn't think much of in that first up run. I thought it was, there was money and there was Spruik leading in. I thought it was fair. So it can improve second up for sure, but I would want to see it out to double figures as well. So I'll say Hinged is the tip, but for the bet, I'm going to go with Dino and Huya Mal.
Intriguing race, and I'm going to work through it with you boys exactly like you've done. Think it over, $2.80, way too short. Hinged just struggles to get the job done when she needs to. $3.50, too short. Jouet, Montefilia, Mwanga, you can just say Joy and Montefiore, as you said, Louis, second up sort of stayers. I'm happy to pen that. Lindemann Awful falls in the Mwanga category as just weren't impressive at all. Then I'm left with Pericles, which is kind of dual nommed everywhere, so I'm not sure you do there. I want to happy with Madame Pommery. Now, I'm not overly sure we're going to get, any better than $11 or any worse. I think $11 is probably the price we'll probably get on Saturday anyway. But just as a horse, I think she was super impressive behind Pericles last start, and arguably probably could have won. If she wins that, I don't think she's $11, lines up $11. So I'm happy to make her an each way play, something small here, and we might get something shorter on race day. I'm still happy to bet her, but I think that's around the right price, Jets. So Madame Pommery for me. Who you Mal target, Dino? Melbourne Cup again? Is that the?
Yeah, I'd suggest even maybe, I'm trying to think of the races that it would target. Probably goes to Caulfield Cup, does a similar path to that. Gay's pretty bang on, but it's so hard this spring. It's the hardest spring to pick targets because there's so many new races, so many different paths. So I'd suggest a staying race somewhere, Gano. Yeah. But like Louis, I love that fresh stayer, sprint their legs. They can often have that really good run.
Yeah, it's interesting. So, like, Francesco Guardi fits that profile of second up as well. Like, all of a sudden you look through here and I can only see, off everything we've talked about, Madame Pommery and Huya Mal is only the two horses that, based off all our theories, that you'd back in all in markets. So, hopefully that's made the job a little bit easier for the punters out there. Let's go to the Concord Stakes. In Secret, come up $2.80. Nature Strip, $2.80. Please. Eduardo, $4.50. Bella Nipotina, needs a bit of rain, $8. Zapateo, same bracket, $8. Remark, $11. On the lead, 101. Shelby, 66. Talk about needs of rain. Fair income, $201. And Casino Lord, $301. Dino, kick us off with the Concord Stakes.
Yeah, interesting race. Obviously, your Nature Strip and Eduardo back at it again, teaming up and taking each other on. They're not getting any younger, and I've probably been a little bit against Nature Strip in regards to his trials. He's been trialling well, don't get me wrong, but here I'm used to him trialling out in front, putting 2-3 lengths on the field and having sort of J-Mac there squeezing and doing some bicep curls trying to hold him back. This time in, the times have been a bit slower. They looked a little bit more casual, so there's no disrespect on him. He's obviously a champion, but $2.80 first up, that's a bit of a negative for mine. I thought we might get $4 plus. I'm really keen to be with In Secret. She's the new girl on the block. We could see the best carnival for her this preparation. Obviously, she won the Lightning Stakes on the Newmarket, sorry. She's got a great first-up record, so did the stable, and I think she's just the new girl on the block. She'll be the Everest slot, I'm guessing, for Godolphin, plus probably a 3-year-old, but $2.80, I think she starts shorter than that, and I'm keen to play her here. Gonna In Secret in the Concord for me.
Yeah, Louis, what do you got for us there, mate? Interesting sort of race, isn't it, with those three runners at top of the market? And then you've obviously got some wet trackers behind them with no rain coming.
Yeah, absolutely. And, it's funny on the Concord. They only got 9 noms, and God bless Cody Morgan, one of them's Casino Lord. Coming up against some Everest winners.
Or something for his troubles.
Yeah, hey, we're good on him. See the weak noms and, throw a dart. Why not?
10,000.
Yeah, well, there you go. There you go. And, fingers crossed.
We got a couple we're going to send around.
I'm serious to God, the nominations have been extended. If you've got a horse who you think can run 1,000 metres in an okay time and you want a day out at Royal Randwick with all the owners in the owners bar and drinking Dom Perignon, just throw your horse into the Concord Stakes. You may as well.
There's 11 in there now. There's 11 in there.
Okay, so
Tara and Philippe have thrown in Julian Rock, benchmark 72, so they're after a day out. But if they do accept there's a fair chance, they'll get no prize.
The punters are quick. Yeah, the punters are quick on that. In Secret, yeah, for everything Dino said, I off the top, I have no bet in this race. I couldn't find a bet. In Secret, it's like, okay, hasn't raced under 1,100 metres in its career, but when you come up against this field, I don't know, maybe that won't matter. Depending on how Randwick plays, if you force me to say something here, maybe Eduardo just leads if it can get away from Nature Strip in the lead. Maybe they have a hard time catching it, but I think, In Secret will win, but I'm more keen to see what In Secret does later in the prep rather than this race. Nature Strip, you don't know what's going to happen. And I can go on and on, but it's a tricky one, this Concord.
Yeah, I think In Secret's entitled to be favourite. I think $2.80 is the right price. So there's no spoils there. I don't think you need to be chiming into it, but I think Nature Strip's the wrong price at $2.80. Should be closer to sort of $4, and Eduardo should be closer to probably $6. And there you go. So in secret, I guess if you want to have a bet, but I think should be getting the job done anyway. All right, let's go to the Furious Stakes. Kiamochi, $3.50. Tis Invincible, $4. Autumn Ballet, $6. Cigar Flick, $6. Platinum Jubilee, $6. Mumbai Moose, 11s. Then we'll go to you, but when we go to you, any worries about the introducing and instructor form lines wherein Tis Invincible came through, or do you think that Tis Invincible just did it so well that she's a class above them?
Yeah, it's a good point to make. Probably we saw on the weekend that Rosebud form, especially with the Colts, was probably a length or two behind the top or echelon or the San Domenico form, but they did only finish 2.5 lengths off the winner there, and I think Tis Invincible didn't have any right to win first up and probably progresses and improves here to 1,200 metres. But in saying that, would you compare the Kiamochi's Autumn Ballet, Cigar Flicks to San Domenico? I think the San Domenico's form has got them covered. So I think if you tie it all in like that, I think she's got a place and is probably a fair price in the market. Interesting. Autumn Ballet is the one I want to be against, Gannon. I thought she had absolute peach in transit there last start. Obviously, she'll get better with ground, but I thought she had the run of the race last start. It's probably the one I want to take out. The top two in the market are the two that I like. I think the only one at a price I would take is Mumbai Muse, who was outstanding back to the inside and hopefully gets a jockey upgrade here. But I think the market's just got it spot on, Louis. I think there's no holes in there this far out at all. I might as well wait for barriers.
Yep, I agree 100%. It's going to be a good race. It's going to be a really good race. But yeah, I couldn't really lean to anything without seeing barriers yet. I've always had Platinum Jubilee's debut victory in my mind, but I just am quickly losing tether on clinging to that, right? Because it just isn't really getting back there. It was okay in the Silver Slipper and then ran midfield, only beaten just under 2 lengths in that first up run. Yeah, I don't know. This is a struggle for me. Kiamochi at $3.50, probably a deserved favourite, but I also don't know where that price goes. Probably a bit longer on the day as well. So if you liked it, you couldn't really jump into it in this all-in market. Yeah, unfortunately, this is not very good podcasting, but I don't know.
I love it. Talk about a whack for old Brittany Preble. Are you fair income, Dino? A jockey upgrade? Come on.
Yeah, I would. Obviously, he's a fantastic jockey. I don't talk about him personally. I'm just talking about his stats. His last 50 or odd rides, he would probably be the first to put up his hand. I think he's striking at 6% or so. If you watch his ride on the weekend, I can't remember the horse's name, Ducasse, or might have been Ducasse.
I think Robbie was on Ducasse.
Yeah, NCAP would have been then. I just think this jockey's riding better. So that's all. There's no knock on the.
Well, when you bag him, though, he'll come out and ride 4 Group 1. So up you go, Brady. I'm with Summer Lovin'. I think it's an enormous price. Had absolutely no chance last start. Absolutely none. And finished off very, very well. We stripped much fitter, and you're getting around $26 each way. I'm very happy to play Summer Lovin' in the Furious Stakes. I think it's a very easy bet to have.
This race needed a bet like that, Gannon. So thanks for pulling through for Dino. That's a good all-in bet.
Thank you very much, Lou. About time I did something. Anything else to add, lads? I'm going to take you to Caulfield to the McNeil. I think Barber just wins it. I think $3.50 is a fantastic bet. Dino, have you got anything else, any best bets before we do our best all-in plays?
I agree with you with Barber. The other one I wanted to touch on was the Tramway, obviously at Randwick, and then you've got the Mona Lisa at Wyong. Alentia, whichever way that horse goes, either race, I'll be chiming into her. I thought her run the other day was absolutely superb. I think she's a Group 1 winner in the making, so that's the only other thing I wanted to add, Gannon.
Alentia, beautiful. Louis, anything out wide or anything we haven't covered that you want the punters to be having a look at?
If Alentia doesn't go to the Tramway, then I'm not sure how they beat Osipenko. So I'm sure the Osipenko team are very, very keen for Alentia to be running Friday. If they do both run in a Tramway, it sets up a really good battle because Osipenko was massive first up. And Alentia, as you mentioned, Dino, a possible Group 1 winner in waiting. And you look at a few others there, and there's no disrespect to them, but Pericles, Hope in Your Heart, Kovalika, and Democracy Manifest is next in the market. And if it's up to them, I'll give it away. Up to those top two, I mean.
Yeah.
Osipenko team are hoping Alentia doesn't come, but I'm sure even if it does come, they'd still be keen that they could beat it, but it sets up a really, really good tramway.
They'll split them up without a shadow of a doubt.
Yeah,
they'll
that's my
split them
thinking
up,
too.
and I think Dino's on the money. I think Mona Lisa for Alentia, and then the tramway the other way. Righto, best all in plays. As I touched on before, Barber in the McNeil is mine. Dino, what's your best all in play of the weekend?
Yeah, I think Barber's mighty hard to beat, but I'm going to go with In Secret in the Concord Stakes. I think it's time to have a new flag bearer for probably the best sprinter or the best sprinter in this race. So In Secret Concord Stakes for me, Louis.
Yep, I'll go Alligator Blood in the Memsie at $5. And if we do think that Alentia is running Friday, then look, it's $2.80 in an all-in market. So I'm not going to tell you to go back it now, but Osipenko should be winning the tramway.
Yeah, just be quick on the pens, pencils, crayons, and buttons if Mona Lisa does get in on Friday, because you won't get $2.80. Let me give you the red hot tip. Boys, anything out wide? Tuesday, Wednesday, racing, midweek best bets for us. Louis, if you got something, please kick us off.
Go to Dino first. I'll have something, but I just need to go find it on my phone.
Dean Watling, Newcastle, Corinda, Donald or Rockhampton? Surely something.
Newcastle, I've done the form for Newcastle tomorrow. Race 6, number 6, Voma Island, a horse who's caused me all sorts of mental problems.
No.
But it's back. It's back. It's a good horse. It's well placed. Should find the front. Josh Shapara aboard. $2.90 is a respectable price for that horse. So I'll be leaning that way. I got one for us on Wednesday too at Ladbrokes, Parkside, Hillside, whatever it's called, down there, Sandown. Lot 1 for the Ben Brisbane stable. So race 1, number 3, lot 1.
I like horses that are named after the lots they've been bought at the sales. Maybe there was a horse that used to go around in Sydney, lot 314 or something like that ages ago. I'm going to go to the lucky last to get out stakes at Warwick Farm with a resuming Snowden runner by the name of Lavish Empire. That will be my midweek play. Warwick Farm, race 7, number 4.
Super stuff. Yeah, I agree wholeheartedly with you, Dino. Roma Island will get the job done. Newcastle, race 6. And if you're looking for something else, just a sneaky one at Newcastle, race 2, number 3, Lindbergh for Hawks, Team Hawks, Zachy Lloyd in the saddle. You get around $4.50.
Up to 16.
A good bet. But lads, been an absolute journey. We got here. We finally got it all sorted. Punters, give us your best bet for the weekend. Chime in. Any questions you've got, we'll be sure to answer them in the comments. Yeah. Until next week. Thanks, legends.
Thanks, guys.
Gives Dino some home remedies for ear infections, guys.
There you go. Best home remedy for his ear infections in his AirPods. We'll win a DeanWatling.com jersey. Until next time.